Ty and Booth IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. I'm at the Ingle Gym with Tom Langford. How you doing? You alright?
Sam, mate, yeah, I'm good, I'm good.
Just seen you doing some sparring with Kell Brook. How's he looking?
Yeah, he's looking very good, He's timing spot on, and carries the size into middleweight, carries the power into middleweight, so it's going to be a very good fight with him and Golovkin, and yeah, his timing and angles are brilliant.
You know that spar there, how many rounds did you do? About 4 or 5 rounds?
Oh, he done 10 rounds, I done the back 5 of him.
So you know that 5 rounds, was that like the hardest ring experience you've ever had?
I've had
I know sparring's different to fighting.
Sparring's different to fighting, obviously, and you know you'll testify to that as well. But he's very clever. His angles and it's his timing and precision of punching. You know, that's what keeps you alert all the time. You waste a lot of energy thinking, anticipating what's going to come. So it's very good, tough sparring.
You imagine getting hit, you know, with 10-ounce gloves. I mean, you know, without a head guard.
He can definitely punch.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, no. It's one of them. Well, you know yourself. 10-ounce gloves is a big difference to 16, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. So you got any predictions for that fight, Kell Brook against Golovkin?
I think it's you know, it's a great fight. Kell does have the power to upset Golovkin. Do you know what I mean? And obviously he's a big underdog going in, but I think he's got every chance every chance he can. Do you know what I mean? Every chance in the world to spring an upset on him, and his footwork and the movement and things. When he gets moving, he's hard man to pin down.
Yeah, true. Ingle style.
Yeah, man.
Tricky.
Yeah.
I was reading about you today, you know, you're what are you, a sports science graduate?
Yeah, I got an honorary degree in sports science from Birmingham University.
Yeah, you know Kell, he's got his own like nutritionist.
Yeah.
And sports. Do you sort yourself out? Because
I'm a qualified nutritionist as well, so I do most of it all myself. Like, do you know what I mean? I know exactly what I can take up my body, put into my body, make the weight comfortably, and still be really strong in it.
Yeah, that's interesting, you know, because you know when I was boxing. You know, when I boxed Eubank myself, I didn't do any of that. But this guy was telling me, this boxer from here, he was saying that, you know, his sports scientist, he takes a little bit of blood, you know, from his fingertip, and he like examines the little drop of blood, and he can tell whether his fighter's overtraining. Yeah, know, just from that little drop of blood.
There are ways. I mean, you get to stages where you can do that if you need that. Fortunately, I've never felt like I need that thing at all, but like, obviously it's possible to do that sort of thing if you need to.
But that's what I'm saying, the little bit of blood that he took, he examined it and he seen that he was overtraining, so he said take a week off. So he took a week off, and when he came back he felt really refreshed. It's
brilliant to know that sort of information.
But that's what I'm saying, you know, it's advanced, isn't it?
Yeah, man, yeah, definitely.
It's advanced.
Definitely.
Chris Eubank. What's going on? You're fighting him?
Yeah, I'm fighting him. Yeah. Obviously I was made mandatory by the board. Frank won the bids, which I was delighted with. Do you know what I mean? My promoter going out and winning the bids for me, and so it can be on a Frank One promotion, and it's happening 22nd of October, Cardiff at the Motorpoint Arena.
Is he overlooking you? Because he's still talking about Billy Joe Saunders.
Do you know what?
I've seen a few articles.
If they overlook me and you know, look over my head and look to other fights and all that sort of thing and everything, it's all the more better for me. Do you know what I mean? If they underestimate me, it's a good thing for me, and you know, I'm fully. I've got 100% belief in my ability. I know, and people within the sport, I think outsiders and that, because he's got all the Twitter hype and all that sort of thing. Right. Outsiders to the sport, they're gonna like, he's an overwhelming favourite, and like they give it all that because of all that hype and all that media attention that he demands and all that sort of thing. But people within the sport of boxing and who know boxing, know where I come from, know my amateur pedigree, know the sorts of how I look in sparring, all the things I do, then know that it's, you know, this is a great fight, and it's a fight that I've got 100% got the tools to win, and I will win. Yeah,
that's it, you know. Commonwealth champion. So he's calling out Golovkin, but then, you know, when he gets a chance, he kind of steps down and boxes at British title level.
But this is the thing, look, not being funny, they've forced themselves into the fight with me. I don't know how much they want to fight me, really, because you're talking about Golovkin's millions of pounds, Billy Joe Saunders, you know, huge offers of money, Danny Jacobs, all world champions, all world titles, and he's not taking them. So like he's forced himself into this scenario. All the other fighters are busy now. Yeah. So he's, you know, if they don't fight me, what do they do? So he's forced himself into this option, and if they're overlooking me and looking to different things and they want to do this and that and the other, then it's going to be them who's going to pay for it on the night. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean though. Like Kel was offered the fight 2 weights above his fighting weight, and he took it, you know, straight away.
That's it, man. You know, these opportunities don't come along very often. You got to jump at them and take them.
Yeah, you got to cash in, you know.
That's it.
But you know, like if he does box, if Chris Eubank boxes Billy Joe Saunders again, the first fight was quite close, wasn't it? It wasn't one-sided.
Do you know what? It was first 6 rounds. Billy won with footwork and a good jab, and then he got tired, didn't he? And he switched off, whichever way you look at it. And then Eubank come into it, and yeah, the back 6 was close, but like I had Billy Joe winning. You know, I don't think you can argue that he won. He won, do you know what I mean? And I think the next time you do the same. But there's one thing that's, to be fair, like Eubank can fight. When he's in the pocket, he can fight. He's very explosive, accurate with his uppercuts, you know, and he fights in those real big bursts and things. So there's definitely things to be, you know, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. You know, can't say he's not, but I don't believe they've shown anything different in this fight since Billy Joe. He's just gone out with that same sort of tactic of bully and beat up, and you get success. If you can outbox him, use your feet and keep him at range and distance, but you've got to be one thing for sure. You've got to be super fit.
Yeah, but
that's what I am. Like, do you know
that's an interesting point, you know, because people say since the first fight with Billy Joe Saunders, I know this is your interview. I don't want to keep going on about you, man. You know, but people say, you know, since the first fight with Billy Joe Saunders, Chris Eubank's improved. They're saying he's improved, and like for me, the first fight was close. When was that fight?
It was a couple of years ago.
That was about 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago.
But you know, when I see like Billy Joe Saunders in interviews, he looks big. You know, like he's not really living the life. But Eubank's always ripped. You know, he's always on it.
That's the thing. Like, so the one thing that you can say, look, I will say, I think he has improved. I think he has improved in certain aspects. His fitness has definitely improved. He's attacked fights better. He's gone out fast and started fast, which he didn't do in the Billy Joe fight. He didn't force the issue from the start, and he looks physically stronger. But boxing tactics and boxing technique, I don't really think there's a lot of change. He's just got a bit more explosive and faster. So like I think he's not really had anybody since Billy Joe who's shown him their boxing angles and movement and given him that technical boxing. They've all stood in front of him, and that's played into Eubank's hands. So he's looked very good, and I can't say he hasn't looked good. He's looked good in his wins.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you see I don't think anyone's giving him the problems that you need to give him to beat him, and I know from what I'm capable of. I might not have shown it in my fights yet because I haven't had to, because to be honest, I've managed to win all my 17 fights without, you know, I haven't necessarily had to put things into practice. Like, no one's seen me box on the back foot, but I can. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them that, like, I've got a lot to show. I'm being underestimated. There's a lot of things within me that nobody's seen in the boxing world, and obviously I have to show that on the night in order to win, and I'm going to do that.
He's going to play mind games, you know. You know, when I boxed him, his dad came up to me just before the fight, you know, and I was waiting to see the doctor, and he came up to me and he started trying to talk to me, you know, like trying to mess me up mentally. So he's going to try and do your head in, you know, in like press conferences. He's going to try it, isn't he?
It's one of them, that's what they're like doing it. But to be fair, like, I mean, I ain't going to let him slag me, I'll slag him back to it. But what it is ultimately we're fighting 22nd of October. It doesn't matter what happens and what is said beforehand, press conferences, all that sort of thing. It don't matter. We're face to face, 22nd of October, and you know, that's what it is.
That's it. Good luck with that. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much, mate.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
First time I spoke to you.
No problem, man.
Good luck anyway, yeah?
Cheers. Yeah, sweet.